Let's learn about the moon. Which one do you think is greater, the sun or the moon? If I answered the moon because the sun shines in the day when there is already light available, but the moon shines in the night when there is no light, would that answer be true or false? Hopefully you chose false, because there's something very wrong with that answer. As you know, the moon is a natural satellite and it's the only moon of the planet Earth, and half of it is always lit up by the sun. And as the moon orbits the Earth, we see the different parts of the lighted area. The moon also rotates on an axis, and its period of rotation, the time to spin once, and the period of revolution, the time it takes to orbit around the Earth once, are equal. It takes about 27.3 days for the moon to spin around itself, and also 27.3 days to orbit around the Earth. And that's why we always see the same side of the moon, and that's why there's that saying, ooh, the dark side of the moon, because there's always that side of the moon that we don't see. And one of the most important things is that you know that the moon is bright because it reflects the sun's light. The moon does not emit its own light, it just reflects the light from the sun. The moon also has a revolution around the Earth, and that creates lunar phases. A lunar cycle is a complete change of phases. If you're interested as to which phases of the moon you'll see in the night sky, you can check out www.moonconnection.com, and it creates all of the calendars for the moon phases. These are the two most important phases that you need to know. Full moon is when the Earth is between the sun and the moon, and the entire illuminated side of the moon faces Earth, whereas the new moon is about 2 weeks later, when the moon is between the Earth and the sun, and none of the sunlight reflected by the moon can reach the Earth. This here illustrates the different phases of the moon. First, you've got the new moon, so the moon's unilluminated side is facing the Earth. The moon is not visible at this point in time, except during a solar eclipse. Then you've got waxing crescent. This is when the moon appears to be partly but less than 1/2 illuminated by direct sunlight. The fraction of the moon's disk that is illuminated is increasing. The first quarter is when half of the moon appears to be illuminated by direct sunlight. The fraction of the moon's disk that is illuminated is slowly increasing. Waxing gibbous is when the moon appears to be more than 1/2 but not fully illuminated by direct sunlight. The fraction of the moon's disk that is illuminated is increasing. Full moon is the moon's illuminated side facing the Earth. The moon appears to be completely illuminated by direct sunlight. Waning gibbous is when the moon appears to be more than 1/2 but not fully illuminated by direct sunlight. You'll notice that the fraction of the moon's disk that is illuminated is starting to decrease. Last quarter or third quarter is when 1/2 the moon appears to be illuminated by direct sunlight. Once again, even more of the illuminated part is decreasing. Last but not least, we've got the waning crescent. That is when the moon appears to be partly but less than 1/2 illuminated by direct sunlight. What you'll notice is that the fraction of the moon's disk that is illuminated has decreased substantially from the start of the phases. And that wraps up the phases of the moon and our moon lesson. If you have any questions, make sure you jot them down and you ask me tomorrow in class.